In the last league, Ru2 created this incredibly strong Leaguestart build, which many people were playing, including Steel Mage and Ru2 himself. GGG couldn't just let that sit, so naturally, they did the only thing that they could do. Buff this build and nerf melee. I was originally going to Leaguestart Bone Shatter, but after that change, it's garbage. It's just garbage. We're playing this instead. So how did they buff this build? Well, with the curse changes, which removed a less multiplier from the bosses, you can now stack minus res to unprecedented levels. And in combination with Eye of Malice, which has a line that says nearby enemies have 50% increased fire and cold resist, it actually works with the negative to multiply to further lower their resistance. This allows us to basically do the same thing that we were able to do with Doriani's prototype with pretty much no downside on Ignite and cold characters. Now, unfortunately, that means the price of this thing is probably going to skyrocket, but in this demo, I'm not even using it. Don't really even need it until you're ready to take it to the next level. The build will function just fine without it. I probably should have mentioned this is a level 85 character with all the labs, and that I'm just using a 5-link with gear to cap resist, and then we're using 2 uniques, but neither of the uniques are mandatory. And this is level 18 gems, so you can pick up quite a bit of damage just from getting those 3 gem levels. Now, since this build has such good scaling, it really enables you to either go completely defensive and still have okay damage, or you could buff completely into damage and fall over and die or something like that. You probably won't even die, actually, on this build. It's actually that strong. But the point is, with the new league, we have to dodge stuff all the time. So what better way than to put an Ignite on a target and then run around and spend the maximum time dodging things. I think it's going to be incredible for this league. If you're paying attention to the map mods at the start, this is a ghosted boss. Now, most builds would really struggle with this because you can't really tank this thing, especially so early on. I don't even have good chaos runs. But what this build does is allow us to just keep applying Ignites and like run away from it over and over and over until it dies. So even if you're struggling on content or trying to do content that you shouldn't really be doing on most builds, you're going to be able to kind of cheese your way through it. And he'll be dead any time now, and got him. In case you haven't heard, I started a coding channel that focuses on Python. If you want to learn from me, check it out in the description. Let's take a look at what I was wearing. So I'm wearing Nykta's Lantern. This is about 3C usually at the start of the league. Of course, if people see this, then it's going to be higher. Not necessary. You could just go with fire, added fire, and then some damage over time or fire damage over time multiplier for rare replacement if these are too expensive. But the reason why we're using this is it gives Balormage, and then we get a 330% multiplier, so 3.35 times this, which almost doubles the base hit of Wave of Conviction. Then we're using Singularity in the offhand because it hinders things around you, and then it just has tons of good stats on it. Now, Ru2 has this in his build, so it's probably going to be like 12 to 15C the first day. So don't worry about getting one of these. You could just use a rare instead, or just play shield charging around with a shield. For the rest of the rares, I'm just using stuff that has some life and some resists on it to cap res. So here we go, just some life and some resists, life and some resists, a little bit of movement speed, some resists, life, resists, a little bit of dex. Now we are running Grace, so I also had to pick up these dex nodes here and here, plus get dex on the amulet. So I have the implicit dex plus that other dex to be able to run Grace. Now what you're seeing is Wave of Conviction, Ignite Proliferation, Combustion, Unbound Ailments with Inspiration, and these are just level 18 gems. So you can actually just get power by getting all these to level 21 as well. Then we're just running Leap Slam, Faster Attacks, Life Tap. We have Enduring Cry. I recommend this especially early to get free endurance charges and free recovery because we don't have life steal yet. You can pick up one of the barracks rings to get life steal because it'll give you life steal while enemies are shocked, and because we're an elementalist, all of our damage shocks. Then we're using Determination and Grace and Vitality, and then I have Cast when damage taken, Molten Shell, And then we have Flame Surge, Flammability, LE Weakness, and Arcanus Brand. So this makes it really easy to play because you just put Arcanus Brand on and it'll do all your curses and stuff for you for a single target. So really there's only 4 buttons. Your main attack, your leap slamming around, this on bosses, this on cooldown. Really simple play style. Now I use no jewels whatsoever here, as you can see. And then we're picking up an additional curse here. Now this is a level 85 tree. If you're lower level, you can take out these points and you can take out these points. You can also spec a different way where you don't go down here and get all this and go into the shadow area. It's up to you which one you want to do. I'm not sure yet which way I'm going to go. I just wanted to demo this for now. For flasks, I used a Divine Flask that has the remove Corrupting Blood. Pretty much mandatory. Otherwise, you're just going to die to Corrupting Blood. Some increased movement speed on a Quicksilver, and then just a basic Mana Flask in situations on bosses where you're casting everything at once. You're going to need this. Otherwise, if you're just leap slamming around, I have this using life, and you're not going to run out of mana just doing Wave of Conviction. This leap slam for your normal play. Now, I don't like this flask setup at all. You probably want an armor flask with % armor, a jade flask with %, because those synergize well with determination and grace. Okay, let's take a look at the leveling POB. So one of the most important things when you level, and I cannot stress this enough, is that you need to craft wands at level 8 and 14 and level 20. And basically what you want to do is use a ruby, topaz, or sapphire plus magic wand plus alteration orb. It'll give you a flat damage to spell. That is huge. It like doubles or triples your damage if you're dual wielding those wands. So like I said, level 8 for normal ring, 14 magic, level 20 for rare ring. Must do. For early leveling, use Frostbolt and Storm Blast Mine. Then we're going to add in Frost Blink, Frost Bomb. You can add in Orb of Storms as well. Holy Flame Totem, Flame Wall. And then we're going to put Phantasm on our Holy Flame Totem with the Flame Wall. And we definitely need Swift Assembly, so it's just like Storm Blast Mines, Frost Bomb, Holy Flame Totem type thing. Then we're going to stick with Storm Blast Mine, and we are going to go ahead at level 12 and add in Storm Brand. And then when we get to level 16, basically we're going to use Wave of Conviction and Storm Brand, and then later we switch Storm Brand out for Armageddon Brand. So Wave of Conviction, Armageddon Brand. Now Racers, they use at level 28 Armageddon Brand with Cremation. Cremation requires you to have dex requirements. It requires you to use a couple more buttons. I'm too lazy to do that crap. If you actually want to go super fast, don't do what I'm doing, which is trying to maximize fun, screw around, whatever. Actually follow what the racers are doing. And then let's just take a quick look at how the tree is. So this is the first 12 points. It goes like that. And there. Then this, we pick up the Ignite first. And then we're going here. We pick up Shock second. And then lastly, we're getting these 2 nodes. We're going over here for the extra curse. And we go in here. I want to point out right here, I temporarily grabbed this for Fire Mastery just because I'm running Combustion and I'm running Elemental Overload. So I want my Wave of Conviction to almost completely convert into elemental damage. But later on, when you have the Ignite node, you drop this for one of the better damage over time nodes. Come over to the Discord if you have any questions, and we can have a detailed discussion. Check out the stream, because I'll be playing this, and then I'll be giving updates of where I'm at each day. In case you want to run this later, like re-roll or something, you can copy what I did.